Welcome back, everybody. You've heard this old adage before. Those were the good old days. But what if we flip the script to appreciate what's happening here and now? That's the premise behind children's author Russell Daniels' newest book, These Are the Good Old Days. We're excited to talk about it with him. Russell, good morning.
Good morning.
I know that this is going to get a little bit on the heavy side before we get to the lighter stuff, but I think it's so important to talk about mental health. Talk to me about your inspiration for this book, because it comes from your own experiences, and why you wanted to write it.
Yes, thank you. So the story is inspired by my late brother, Danny, who lost his battle with mental health in August of 2020. And so this book is an expression of, yes, those were the good old days with Danny, but also these are the good old days, and they continue to be because of all the love and the family members that we still have in our life. But this book is an honor and a tribute to Danny's life, and sharing the perspective that these are the good old days. They were before, they will continue to be, because that's kind of the approach and the mentality behind it.
I think if you look the word nostalgia up in the dictionary, it actually indicates some form of melancholy, like some form of sadness for what was. So the fact that we're talking instead about like what is, and like let's appreciate that, I think is so huge. What can readers expect when they open this book? You know, what's it about?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of the subtitle of the book is A Story for Children and Families About Appreciating the Moment While You're Still in It. So not looking back to some time in the past that those were, but we are in them right now. And the repeated phrase through the book that I think kind of centers the story is, these are the good old days when we're all still around and you're right here safe and sound. I know that these are the good old days, is what Grandpa Dan, which is also based on my real life grandfather, who's 94 years old.
Wow, way to go, Grandpa.
Yep. And I was able to give him my book, These Are the Good Old Days, on his 94th birthday, which we have a picture in here somewhere that I can speak to.
Oh my goodness, that is so sweet.
Yeah, so it's a really meaningful present that I was able to give him.
Wow, that is really wonderful. I do want to talk a little bit about the fact that it is a children's book, and why you chose it to be a children's book, and what you're hearing from your friends who have kids, because it's doing a little reminding for them as well.
Absolutely. So making it a children's book, which we have a picture here that I've done readings at various elementary schools here in Austin and a few in San Antonio, and just being able to share a message with someone who is first starting to make sense of the world, and that they can go home at the end of that day after hearing my reading, and they look around the dinner table and say, these are the good old days. I would love for that to happen. And so that's part of the reason for doing for a children's book, and having the illustrations come to life to support it.
It really gives me chills, and you've got some fantastic illustrations as well. Can you talk to me a little bit about Sandra McDougall?
Yes, yep. Sandra is a Austin-based illustrator who I met through kind of the art community on the east side in Austin, and reached out to her, and over the past 6 to 9 months we worked together to bring to life what we see here on the screen.
It's gorgeous.
That picture of Grandpa Dan, well, every picture is based on the actual people. Somewhere on the photo on the right, you'll see what looks like me and my parents, and Grandma Sally is the lady in the pink on the left right there. So everyone, based on real people. And then here we have a picture of Danny when he was younger, then Grandpa Dan. And Grandpa Dan is a retired dentist. He worked at the Bexar County Jail for many, many years leading their dental program. So these are just a few images of Danny's life, and the life that we got to share with him.
Do you know, I can see how fulfilling it is, how wonderful your family and close-knit it is, and I think that really reflects not only in the illustrations of the book, but some of the pictures.
Thank you.
That you've brought to us today. Okay, this actually is your first book.
Yes, it is.
But we are hoping it is not your last.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about the second one you're working on.
Yep, so on the final page, and this is a picture of when I gave the book to Grandpa Dan.
Look at how proud he is.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me want to cry.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day. So the
the second book that you're
That's right, yes. So on the final page of this book, the closing page says, I'm glad you're here. And so that's kind of a teaser for the title of my second book, which will be out probably sometime next year. And just a message of like telling someone a simple phrase of "I'm glad you're here" can be deeply meaningful to feel that, if you really get that feeling of, I'm glad you're here, that you've gone through everything you've gone through, and that we're here together.
And not only that, but for people who are struggling with mental health, maybe to just hear that you're being recognized, that your presence is honored. I think it's really important. Such important information today, and a really adorable book. Thank you so much, Russell, for your time. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, get Russell's book online now. AlwaysTheGoodOldDays.com.